we are. This is something that I actually almost forgot I had to do. So I got to go through I did a video last week to asking you guys. I did a video in general asking you guys, how strong do you believe Baam is without Shinsu? This is a topic of conversation that came up as a result of the Baam versus Lilial stuff. I did a little bit of a reaction to Bonehead's video about the fight making sense. So this has been a bit of a topic of conversation. It's been happening for like the last, I'll say, week, 2 weeks or so. Yes, CBL season. Baam is already Baam level without Shinsu. You're a genius. Boom. You got it. Bingo. So yeah, let's go through it. And maybe at the very end, I might wait till tomorrow, but I do want to talk about Abyss 13 because I thought that was really good. Shout out to my Quebec people. But all right, let me just switch scenes here, and then we'll get into the comment section. Do I?
A little something like Eenie, Meanie, rap from the beginning. Smoke a little pack, but the pack never timid. Church, but I'm seeing it. Curse when I'm winning. She need a new back. When it's back, I'ma bend it. Slap up some guinea. Ask me to hit it. Watch a nigga black super yak, I'ma quit it. Swerve in the Benzie. Perfume is Fendi. Bobbin' move fast, real fast like I'm Ricky. Just 'cause I'm pretty. Came from the dirt. Showing up a nigga can't handle the work. Ooh, y'all swing with it first. Young white girl like a Rambo.
Okay. I don't want this low. But yeah, so I'll be going through your comment section where you guys are telling me how powerful you believe Baam is without Shinsu, because you guys are all smarter than me, right? So I put it in your hands. Let's see if y'all making any sense, because y'all be coming for me, for my head. I'm coming back at y'all neck. Y'all better be spitting some fire or else. Let's get it. By the way, sir, we got to get these pods going. Oh, you're right. And there's enough news to comic book, pop culture related and stuff that we got to get it popping. You're right. Video game and everything. I just got back, you know what I'm saying? Let me reacclimate a little bit. But all right. So David says top 100 with just hands easily. Did I answer? Is that me? Someone just said cap. Nicholas Alexander says, I think he'd beat a ranker, but maybe not a high-ranked one. Granted, if it's his thorns, hand-to-hand combat, soul power, all the other stuff is allowed, he could possibly beat a high ranker. No, he's beating them. Though it would extremely difficult, because since he uses Shinsu to control and strengthen them up, but he could be top 200, even 100. I did say without his other powers too. So no Black March, no souls, no thorn, no second thorn fragment, just punch kick. By the way, I haven't said this here, but there's actually a reason that I'm doing this, because I'm about to prove something crazy in a way that doesn't make sense in the way that I usually do it, but it'll all come full circle when I give you my answer. Traveler says, I think he's still higher ranker level without Shinsu. Nagalam says, only real CBLs know the truth. We got the knowledge. We know. We are knowing. What are the reply? I know I replied to some of these. The gap between an advanced ranker and high ranker, maybe. So like, he's not high ranker level, but he's slightly above advanced ranker. I'm not mad at that. By the way, 25th Nut is probably weaker than Yuri if he's just using physical strength, because the man has boost upon boost. We'll see, man. We're gonna see. I got a surprise, man. Could let it be known that man Dustin, he was right. Keep it pushing though. Who this kind of has the right idea, I think. As strong as the plot makes him, I've given up power scaling on the series. It is wildly inconsistent, and the author doesn't respect any previously established rules. You're on the right path. You're there. You're on the war path to understanding where I'm about to come from. But you turned left at one crossroads where you should have kept going right. But don't worry, I got your back. Who's this? Facts, question mark. I get your point for every character not named Baam. Baam himself, however, has established broken from the beginning. Cannot get mad for the power growth. The issue is the non-irregular characters. I'm honest with you, Mystery Ace. This is a very lazy take in my opinion because you're absolving him of a lot of issues that he has with Bam himself. This is not. You know, I'm not even gonna. I'm not even gonna go into this. It's okay. I don't agree with that though. Above ranker for sure. I'm not sure how far I'd go. Fair enough. If I'm being serious and not going with SIU's BS. Oh, okay. True. My answer. Definitely Bam could be top 50 fishermen. Okay. With just hands, most people not beating Bam even without his use of Shinsu. If you look at the Bam fights with Dada Jihad, Elaine, and White, you can see his exceptional martial arts skill. We've seen Bam's martial arts skill. It's great. He has hands. I never really understood why some people were trying to downplay that. Like, he's not a great hand-to-hand combatant and stuff. But ultimately, does that really matter in this series? I don't think so. I don't think I have any real reason to believe that. Is this in the right place? Hey, what's image 5? That's my my border. Whoops. Okay, now it's back. This would be so easy if Shinsu showcased more of Bam's training instead of giving him new powers. I think a lot of people forget how good a martial arts Bam is. Been Jinsung and the stuff with Hachai. Also, when he was even just chasing Rachel for the Hell Train, he went to those dojos and stuff. He's basically has half family training. Well said. He got that technician pose. I be seeing him. He be hitting them pose like a technician. I swear. I was gonna do something on OBS and I completely forgot. But anyways, let's keep going. I would put him close to ranker level when it comes to pure hands. He was trained by Jinsung, the battle and the battle to battle training. Whereas far we don't really focus on learning new Shinsu techniques besides Zero. It could have involved a lot of physical training, but SI isn't so shit. So any speculation is just pure headcanon. LOL. Fair enough. I was gonna do this. That's what I'm gonna do. Just remembered. Refresh. I'm gonna refresh this one. There it is. This is just in case anybody feels like joining. I'm in the Discord. Who has the link? With no Revenant says with no Shinsu, I'd place Bam at ranker advanced ranker range. He survived the attacks from White before they had their fight, and he wasn't in true self mode. Shinsu could have played a role, but I think it would have been disingenuous to say him having a strong body didn't play a big part in it. We just saw him block a kick from a princess from a great family, and it should go without saying Bam is by no means lacking in the martial arts department. Agreed. He's for sure still high rankers without Shinsu, in your opinion? Okay. That's fair. Okay. At first I want to say this conversation question is very hard to determine because there isn't always said whether a character is using Shinsu reinforcement. There are fights and moments we can reference, but can't say for sure if Bam is really fighting with no Shinsu enhancements. That being said, I believe that he has a physical strength of an advanced ranker right now, or just below that. I don't believe he was reinforcing himself when he fought Lilal Jihad, and I believe a B-rank princess can put up good hand-to-hand fight with a ranker. Season 3 hasn't really given us a whole concrete evidence when it comes to the physical strength without Shinsu. But the fact that Evankiel had him in a thorn Shinsu handicap going into the cage makes me believe she was whooping Bam's ass physically and making sure he could handle hand-to-hand combat. I still believe his prowess in Shinsu quantity control greatly outweighs his physical strength, but it's not like when he was young Viole. But if his overall abilities puts him in top 100, then I would say he's physically just below an advanced ranker. What's up, Glam?
I disagree.
Why do you disagree?
I mean, what? I'm just saying, shit, man. Don't listen to me.
I got this. This is totally unrelated, and I'm only saying this because I was disappointed. Because like I told you, like I once in a while I'll watch like the roof piece stuff with my friends, and they liked it. They enjoyed it. They're having a good time. I liked a certain portions of the combat, but that episode where he like lands his like first 3 like conquerors hit, I don't like it.
I haven't even seen that animated, I don't think.
bro, there's just so much shit going on. There's just a
I
bunch
know.
of
I know they've been being very
overlays and
arbitrary with the
filter
with the colors.
and just like a bunch of background visual noise and like these sakura blossoms everywhere. Then he's like focusing his inner strength. Then he's averaging 4 flashbacks per punch. Like I couldn't, bro. I said, "This is moving, y'all. This is ass cheeks. Y'all being tricked, man. This is just flash and no substance." I like the music that played when he stopped Kaido's club with his foot, though. But anyways, I just had to say that because
Bet.
I was so hyped. And
All I gotta say is it's just a pun, bro. That's all I gotta say. Just a pun.
Oh, that stuff doesn't bother me, by the way. I don't care about that.
I did, yeah. It's like
I hear you guys though. I mean, I get where you guys are coming from with it. I just didn't like. I don't care about anybody on Wano that's not Shinobu. So
yeah. I feel that because if you don't care at all, that's similar to me. I'm just like, this is just bad messaging, my dude.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
I just think it's inconsistent with the general theme he likes to do and wrap up stuff with. But it's literally to me, it's as simple as they fucked with my clan for 20 years in my country. It's fuck the Kurozumi, and I'm like, fair enough. That's literally as simple as I took it. But their name means like charcoal or some bullshit. I get it. So whatever. But yeah, my biggest question would be: at what point season 2 Baam with all his powers can take on current Baam without Shinsu? If I had to guess, the tables would turn around the time he fought Dada Jihad. That's about right. Once S2 Baam starts fighting like himself, I think he would be too much for current Baam to handle. Obviously, just my thoughts and really hard to gauge, but I'm curious to what everyone thinks nonetheless. What do you think?
So what did he say again?
He says the stream is doubling. Is it just? Oh shoot! Is my thing on? Someone else let me know if you're hearing an echo. I think they're saying that they're hearing an echo. Maybe I don't know if I did something. Let me know if anyone else is having that problem so I could fix it.
What am I thinking about right now?
Oh, like what do you think? Like at what point do you think season 2 Baam with all of his powers can take on the current Baam, who's not using any Shinsu? I guess was the idea, the question.
Go all out in season 2 to fight current Baam.
I agree. Even without Shinsu. Ernest is right about something. Shinsu boost doesn't always have an indicator. So never understood why people even got in arms with Baam with Lalal, so when he could have been using it. But realistically, who cares? Baam isn't really losing in any field of abilities. No echo for me. Sounds fine to me. All right, thank you. Let me just pull this up on my chat, my screen. I gotta start using the dual monitors at some point. Stop doing live like this. You heard if you want to miles, you can hop in too. By the way, okay. So, yeah, I think that so I'm gonna take Baam versus the last station. I think he needs pretty much everything. I don't know if the Black March would be overkill, but I would argue he needs just about everything just to compete with the current Baam. But I guess this would be dependent on your perspective and how much stronger do you think he got during that 2-year time skip in like all stats, defense, speed, HP, if you will, defense, all those things. And I think it's a significant difference, personally speaking. It's hard to tell with Baam because his head-to-head talent is that of a high-ranker fisherman. So even if he's physically that strong, his talent always will allow him to hit above his weight class, which a good amount. I'm not home right now. How long are you going to be going? Probably. No idea, bro. When I'm done, I'm done. See, Lazaro's kind of going where I'm going, but we'll get there. I do not agree. That makes no sense. Baam's talent is not his physique. Baam's physique improves in a common way thanks to his training. Baam has never depended on his natural physique to fight. SLU himself said in the blog post, Baam is opposed to the Prince of Jihad and is more based on enhancing his body with the Shinsu. There is where the key is. Because Baam powers his body in an abnormal way thanks to the fact he is blessed by the Shinsu. Even Kaiser was surprised in the second season when his wolf did not rip an arm off Baam when he bit him already. That Baam didn't seem to be members of the 10 families. He couldn't believe that his resistance was due to the strengthening of his Shinsu. I get most of what you said, but don't understand what you're getting at. Are you saying current Baam couldn't beat a season 2 Baam who uses all its power? Yes, it could, but let's clarify something. The Bam of S2 with all his powers would lose to Bam of S3 in base state. As long as he reinforces his body with Shinsu. Okay, I just wanted to know what your point was because I didn't get it with the other statement. I know that that this debate comes from the controversy the fight will allow, but understand if Bam versus his body with Shinsu in that fight. But it's also true that that fight was scripted because Bam had endless ways to stop Lilia without hurting her to begin with. She could have used. He could have. She could use. No, I think he meant him. He could use reverse floor control, and the fight was over there. Okay.
I am back from my phone call in the middle of what I was saying.
Oh, okay. I'm like he got snatched up. So I thought maybe you got. I had a feeling you got a call or something or FaceTime.
Yeah. But yeah,
good.
I was just gonna say him physically, no Shinsu, is probably still beating fucking what's his name, Han Sung-yu, in my mind,
Oh shit.
and he's supposed to be like
OD.
almost, yeah, or at that level and just not ranked.
Yep. I hate the blog post arguments. That shit's not canon. Yama needs to rebuild the gym and Bam yoke through either way. There. Excuse me.
If he gets the essence of bullshit, then his physical strength's going to go up even more.
Mm. Please don't revoke my CBL membership, but I don't think our Lord and Savior is very strong without Shinsu. Without Shinsu, I believe he can beat.
Blasphemy!
Right? How dare you? How
Get him out of
here. Your CBL. I'm joking. Without Shinsu, he can beat regular rankers, no problem. But the people with special circumstances, namely your Calavans, 10 great family members, Haigh-Rankers, of course, and Jihad Princess, can take him no sweat. If he meets someone who really knows his ish, they taking that win from Bam. Interesting. This is all gonna make sense. I promise. It'll all make sense at some point. I think he's very powerful physically. I don't have a definitive placement for him since he doesn't go into fight Shinsu less, but I can't see him being far behind the Haigh-Rankers we've seen him in a scrap with, if at all. The arguments I've seen people make against this one come pre-last station, and I think it's kind of silly to assume his physical abilities haven't improved alongside his Shinsu was, especially post-training. 100% agree with that. That was a part that I didn't really get with some people. But let's. I wonder if you're in everyone's comments correcting them. But let's see. You're misunderstanding things. Bam's talent is not. Oh wait, is this the same thing he said? Is for him to wait. Okay, no. It's impossible to surpass the natural physique of a member of the 10 great families by just training and reach ranker as a regular. To do that, Bam uses Shinsu first in his body, which is his true talent. In addition, Bam always fights using Shinsu reinforcement since his physical body does not go to his talent with Shinsu. My question there was just be like, who told you that?
You made that up, man.
That's like kind of what I'm thinking in my head. Like, fair enough if you believe it based on what you like, based on what you like you've seen or read or whatever. But I'm just like, I think that's a definitive statement to make in the other direction without any like real evidence, just circumstantial, maybe. But I like when people are like very, 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 very confident in their take, even if I don't know if it's particularly supportive or anything. But I'm about to make myself look like a hypocrite by saying that in a bit. I don't believe he is physically powerful without Shinsu unless we get some proof. All right, I see you. I hear you. Let me think. Bam always uses Shinsu to fight. Of course, if he improved, but do not believe that now he's physically at the natural physique of a ranker. That is absurd. Only members of the 10 great families have become rankers to treat something like this, but besides that, Bam does not need this, for he has an abnormal reinforcement with the Shinsu, not to mention he also has the spine, SOU, made sure to cover the weaknesses of the protagonist as well. No, I understand just fine. I'm not claiming Bam's talent is physical in nature. I'm saying nothing suggests that his physical abilities are tiers below the average fighters of a similar level. Obviously, it's not one-to-one in every case. I don't think he's arm wrestling every Hoff family member or sumo slamming Calavan, but I feel he can meathead punch, fight his contemporaries in power with a chance to win. Nothing in the story leads me to believe anything different. I'm enjoying this back and forth. There is data that proves something different. I ask you, what makes you think that Bam, who does not have any natural physical talent, still wondering where that reminds me of the Urek statement. where people are just like, Uret came into the tower as strong as he is, like as we've seen him, and I'm like, who told you that? I'm not even saying they're wrong. It's just you said that with your entire chest, but why? Who told you that?
Wasn't this dude as just Juviole Grace at the beginning of season 2, fucking around with people with just hands for the majority of the first time we saw him?
When I get there in the recline, we'll let you know. But there was
I was
like
about to say, like,
there is
I only
a point where he only has the Thorn and he can't really use Shinsu, but he still found his way around it though.
like when he's fighting Horyang and Arkraptor the first time, he's not really using a lot of bangs in that fight.
But it's also like the like to the point that was made earlier, and I agree with this point. We never really know. It's kind of like observation hockey or something. Like, do we ever really know? Like, it just sometimes someone says he dodged it with he saw the future. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Like someone has to exposit that for us to know. You know what I'm saying? So
We don't even know when Shinsu reinforcement's really being used.
I just kind of assume everyone's like doing it to some degree, but I don't actually know that for a fact. You feel what I'm saying?
So Sue should take a note from the One Piece anime and get those auras around his boys when they're using Shinsu reinforcement.
There you go. Has surpassed the physical levels of a regular like Hatsu, who Bam has spent his entire life training. That's my point. They think that because Bam's a regular, has a monster talent, and spends his time training, his body improvements will also be abnormal, and it's not like that. Bam's body is a common body that improves in a common way. It is impossible for him to reach the physique of a ranker. Being a regular, all Bam's resistance is based on his reinforcement with Shinsu, and if they limit Shinsu for that has the spine, SU didn't do things foolishly. He gave Bam tools to compensate for his weaknesses. I disagree with you. Bam isn't a regular like Hatsu. He's more gifted, more experienced, and has better mentors in training. His body and Malik, you going in. His body and improvement are factually uncommon in the tower due to his irregular status. Had Bam been another C-rank regular in the cast, then I wouldn't push back at you thinking he couldn't have ranker level physicals, but Bam has trivialized that title already. Saying he uses Shinsu enhancement isn't a strong counter in my eyes either, considering that's the case for all other characters, ranker or not. I don't think Bam is frail without it. I can't believe so many are confused on that point. I'll say it again. The body of Bam is that of a common and ordinary body that is strengthened with training and has not been explained yet why, but it is so. Bam's talent comes from Shinsu itself, since Bam is blessed with Shinsu. Therefore, he can strengthen his body in an abnormal way. Other characters, even if they are physically strong, can't keep up with Bam because they can't strengthen his body on the same level as Bam. This is something that SI himself revealed once, that Bam is the opposite to the princesses of Jihad in that aspect. Bam's Shinsu reinforcement is too OP. That's why being a regular, he can easily fight and beat a ranker, although said ranker is also enhanced with Shinsu, because the reinforcement of Bam is in another league. Dude was capping. I feel it. Bam ordinary. That's what's crazy to me. It's one thing if you want to like here's how I see it, Glam.
Mm-hmm.
Bam's athleticism is his worst stat, but it's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
If everything is like in the 90s, his is like an 80. It's like an 86.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So you mean I'm willing to listen to someone who's telling me, hey, Bam's physical prowess is not exceptional, but it is better than the average. I'll listen to that. But don't tell me it's common. That's not moving me.
When was Shinsu reinforcement even introduced in the story? Because I don't really recall that in season 1 really at all.
They're probably doing it. I remember a statement he made about Shinsu boosting when Dorsey was blitzing them on the bridge.
Well, yeah. Well, I think maybe for like Quant, maybe. I think when I first heard that skill, my inclination was this is like a skill usually only rankers know. Is the impression I got from it. Yeah. So even when I saw Bam again in season 2, I was like, I didn't have any impression that he was using Shinsu reinforcement even then. So I don't like the unilateral assumption that Bam even had this ability in season 2 as well.
He probably learned it from Hajin's song. I'd be surprised if he didn't. So by then he would know it, but again, it's just not clear because he doesn't really show that kind of stuff. We just kind of have to assume, you know. Season one it was using the fisherman test by the princesses. So there you go. Well,
okay, there we go.
I'll get there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let's see. Where was I? I disagree with you. C rank. Something I can't believe. Since itself, Bam is blessed with Shinsu, therefore controlling his body in a number of ways other characters can't. Physically strong because in another league. I understand Bam's talent nothing to do with his physique. His skills and techniques evolve monstrously, but not his body. And I don't know why they are obsessed with that. Because if they don't need it, I'll be back. I repeat, that's why they have a bone. Bam's talent does not need to be physical for him to be physically strong. He's an irregular child of two great warriors and a living ignition weapon. His body isn't common. I'm not saying he's some godly physical monster. I'm saying with pure hands he can contend at a high level. See, this is where your confusion. Bam, despite being the son of two irregulars and also being irregular, he has the body that does not respond to those things. His body is too weak for the genes he has. The reason has not yet been explained, but many theorize it is because he was dead for a long time. That's interesting, actually. Like you have to restart from. I don't know. Let me ask you a question. How strong physically do you think season 1 Bam is compared to the start of season 2? To post Thorn Bam, name Hunter Station Bam, to first floor of Death Bam, to hidden floor Bam. If you think Bam's physique hasn't grown during these times, explain why. And if you think he grew stronger physically, also explain by how much. Then compare the start of season 3 to those versions. Then at the start of the Nest, compare to him. Then go past the Souls, compare him. Then go past the White Battle, compare him. If that Bam hasn't reached rank or higher rank of physique, then I don't know what to do with you. Shit.
Oliver kind of hooping right now.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know how many things happened to this man since season 3 started? Like, what are we doing? This is why it was baffling me. I'm like, believe what you want to believe, but your argument's not moving me. You know, we are confusion. It's true. We are always confusion.
Just have simple pea brains, man. We can't understand it.
I'm not intelligent. I don't know what I'm doing. I didn't study.
If you're not from Korea, you can't properly understand the story. Okay.
It's a pun. Without Shinsu, I'd say it depends. The bowl and thorns were counted. This is a big Milios, by the way. Were counted as not being a part of Shinsu or Shinsu control techniques. It's true, actually. When Shibisu and Ko are playing Shinsu blocking a ring on his finger, since they act as a source of physical strength and physical weakness cancellation, plus with the previous Shinsu doping that has happened during the climb, without any reinforcement or use of Shinsu attacks, I'd say Bam could wash a Pan, Charlie, Dog Twin, Jordan level ranker. I think Jordan is an upper ranker, advanced ranker. In addition to Perdity, the bozo who got sunned by Calivan, LaFave, incomplete.
Bozo.
That's interesting. I like that answer. Did I say anything? Did I say anything here? What did I say? He'd be advanced ranker level, but not high ranker for sure. I just said, oh, okay.
This is a side note. What the? I can't even remember what the difference between upper and advanced ranker even is.
No, upper. I think no upper. So it's ranker, upper ranker, higher ranker, and then blue holes. I guess. I think upper and advanced ranker are one of those things. They're like it means the same thing. It's like a different translation for it.
Okay.
So if someone says upper ranker, they mean advanced ranker. If someone says advanced ranker, they mean upper ranker. I just know there's two translations, just like Jihad, Endorsi, and Rosi is just one of those things. Kun, Koon, Kun, Khun. There's just two ways to say so many things in Tower of God. Is it Mexican or Mexican? I don't know, man. I'm tired. So I agree with you that he is top 100 with all his powers. Without Shinsu and only his physical strength and martial arts, though, I think he is based ranker level. In terms of just his body strength, I don't think he is ranker level. In his fight against that test ranker, they said the ranker was physically superior. He was superior, and we have to add that Bam was reinforcing his body with Shinsu. Imagine if it were his natural body, and I really don't know why this is being debated, because Bam, he wouldn't fight without reinforcing his body with anyone, because physical resistance is not. I mean, I already explained the reason why this is being a topic of conversation. Otherwise, I wouldn't. But I don't care to have this conversation. It's just that, again, your guys' your takeaways, your conclusion, your conclusion. I'm looking at your work. You may know 2 + 2 is 4, but let me see the mathematics you did to get to that answer. That's all I'm looking at. Only time Bam was seeing using only his natural strength because they forced the ring on him. Yeah, versus his body with Shinsu. And if I said other comments, Bam does not need this because he has a spine which covers physical weaknesses. Yes, Bam reversed his body, but the ranker did so as well. Period. This argument is invalid. Oh shit, y'all going at it over here. Interesting question. Well, I think that the current Bam without any type of reinforcement with Shinsu in a natural way may already. Sorry, hold on. I'm trying to again. Interesting question. Well, I think that the current Bam without any type of reinforcement with Shinsu in a natural state may already have the same physique as a member of the 10 great families, and I'm taking a risk. You have to understand that no matter how much he trains, his most notable improvements will always be reflected in his techniques and control of Shinsu. His physical abilities also improve, but in a common way, not in a special way. But it's not that Bam needs this either. SLU thought well of how to solve that problem with the Thorn.
Shout out the Spine for never showing up again, by the way.
Huh?
Shout out the Spine for like one time at the beginning of season 2 and never being a thing again.
I also, do you think that SIU created the Thorn specifically for that reason? Like, I do think that an assumption is being made that this is a supplement and cover his weakness. When I'm like, the Thorn is to kill the king. That's simple. Like because I didn't overthink it though. Maybe I'm not thinking deep enough. I don't know.
The Thorn also doesn't only boost his physical abilities, at least for the first one. It boosts literally every aspect of him, Shinsu included. So I don't know where this idea that it's there to only cover physical shit comes from.
Yeah, and after we got hit with that antimatter Shinsu bomb, right, from Ja Wagner in the beginning of the second season, have we ever seen that exoskeleton ever again?
I don't recall it.
I don't think so, right? So
I don't think we've seen it. For everything I read, which is like halfway through the cage, I don't recall seeing the Spine ever again, other than that first time.
Okay.
Because I think the way I thought that it disappeared, I thought that was like the alleged like cradle for the Thorn that Reflejo talked about. And that was just there so he could easily accept the Thorn into his body. But that could just be a rationalization. It was just this weird ability that never came up again.
There you go. We don't know because we've never seen him without Shinsu after season 1, and SAU is not giving us any way to gauge character strength without Shinsu. Everything in the comments is simply headcanon. I 100% agree with this, and that's me included. He has abs, so probably very strong. I love this. On a more serious note, since blood is very important, the tower apprentices are strong because you have your hot blood, hot family members have tough bodies, and given that Bam's parents are Arlene, which specialty was spells, so she probably didn't have a strong body, and V was probably a swordsman, which means she was probably very strong. I thought you were gonna say V's talent was tension. That threw me off. Sorry. Was probably pretty strong, and I'd say Bam isn't physically super strong because of his bloodline. Okay, all right.
Patagana says we saw the exoskeleton when he was hit by Mule Love. You're talking about when Love did the knuckleball on him? Oh no, not knuckleball, the breaking ball.
Well, I remember that. I'm a fraud.
I don't because I don't remember that either in the Mule Love fight.
Ryzen had showed me a panel of apparently Bam copying a technique from Mule Love, so that was interesting.
That isn't Blue Shield.
Blue or yeah. It's let's see if I can find it here in my Discord real quick. I think he sent this to me. My DM here.
I think he had one of those. Yeah, wasn't it? Was it Fastball that he copied?
I'm just gonna show you. Hold on, I'm just gonna go to Discord real quick. Change scenes. So I think some of you guys can see that. How well they can see that.
V's talent was NTRing Jihad. To be fair, that is true. V was a Pornwa MC.
So like here, he does this weird like after image blue something dodge, right? And I don't know if this is a part of it, or maybe it's this thing. Oh yeah, so here he copies it and does it too, right? And apparently against Lalal here, when he like bobs to the right, you see that little purple part? I guess that's him copying that ability again. I don't know what to make of that, but I guess it was interesting in this one, right?
Yeah, because okay, he used slider against him.
Yeah. Where was I?
I mean, I guess that's copying him, man.
I don't even like. I just, like I'm gonna take it just so I could just be like, this guy owes his entire life to Mule Love. Blue Orb would carry it. Blue Orb would carry that man for how long? Like, so.
I'm gonna say that Sue just wanted to put the color purple there for no reason.
Exactly, and just kind of overlapped. And then we did a thing where as a fan base we overanalyze everything, right?
Now, if he had like swerved around and then punched her, then I would have slider.
Yeah. Because I probably would have caught that myself. But, anyways, I think it's safe to say that without Shinsu, Baam is low ranker level, which is insane considering that Shinsu is a specialty. The reason as to why I think he is physically strong is because I think he should have the body of similar caliber to the family heads. And we saw Dajihad and Edwin were damn near ranker level physically, so it's safe to assume at this point without Shinsu, Baam is ranker level. I think that makes sense. That makes sense to me. I think the biggest problem for this discussion is the lack of reference. The only characters we saw fighting without Shinsu were Urek and Yuri. Urek doesn't count. My boy is a beast with or without Shinsu. Although he was pushed by Helljo himself. He doesn't get hit without Shinsu. That's why I have no problem with the Lol and Bam thing. That's not. I don't know, cause like to me, Urek's is playing possum, so we can eject Helljo with the needle to separate from the Red Tharissa. That's not him actually getting like he was fast enough and caught him off guard and hit him in the stomach. I literally think he's playing possum to just inject him with the needle. So our viewpoint on that is different. Personally, I don't know.
Also, Yurik, like, no Shinsu because of the bracelet, and also holding himself back to just, like, what was it? 1 or 2% of his physical strength.
When he takes off the thing, he uses a 10% punch, but I always argue it's not even it's probably not true because it was never his intention to kill Helljo. He has to hold back. He was trying to separate him from the thing that was taking him over.
And he takes off the fucking thing too. It's only again physical strength that he's doing that as well. So.
Yeah.
That boy Yurik is different.
Differente. He's a beast. Blah blah blah. Where was I at?
Fucking panel. Yeah. He blew up the ocean. I'll never forget it.
So insane. That the destructive that was insane. Is this around my chair like this? Who did that? It's stuck. There you go. All right. So we only have Yuri left, and even with immense physical ability, she was able to deal with Helljo. She was having a hard time fighting with using Shinsu, having all that. But then geography also mattered. Weren't they like in the air too, and she had to they had no footing. Having said all that, I don't think that Baam is very powerful without Shinsu. Although he's a master of hand-to-hand combat, he doesn't have immense physical abilities like Yuri or Jin Song. Okay. Without any Shinsu, Baam probably wouldn't have been able to beat that no-name ranker that ended up being the newspaper, but he could probably win against a Knack, but lose to Endorsi. I'm sorry, I had a moment. He just like the things that happened in my brain. You couldn't see it, but it happened. I promise. He was way more experienced in physical skills than he's ever had before. But if he's fighting without Shinsu, the person he's fighting is allowed to use Shinsu, then it's a problem for him because he is at heart a wave controller. I think scouts and fishermen are more physically powerful, followed by spear bearers, and last is wave controller.
I'm still fucked up about that Anak and Endorsi thing.
That's what I'm saying. That is not happening. But
what?
I wish y'all could just see what happened in my brain when I read that. I had to find myself back to this timeline. I got lost. Without Shinsu, he's probably around mid to high ranker level, so like advanced ranker-ish. I probably put him a little lower than advanced, but in that ballpark. Yeah, his skills and martial arts on the compete level. The only thing I'm not sure about the overall power we can output without Shinsu. Okay, that's fair. Y'all talking about LeBam James, great athleticism? Absolutely. He's been in the game 25 years. We don't have much information to base ourselves on, true. But I personally think rankers develop their naturally stronger bodies by having contact with denser Shinsu as they go up the tower, which is a quality that's passed on through genetics, Tengri families, and through the Jihad Princess's experiment somehow. Of course, this isn't fully passed, but a small portion of it is. Of course, training battles and high rankers and such might have helped Bam improve even more, as well as him being a regular. So I'd say he would not be ranker level, but then you have to remember that he's a descendant of V and Arlene, which puts him essentially in the same spot as the Tengri family, direct descendants. Therefore, he might be physically stronger than a ranker, but I don't think we have enough references and examples of him on being high ranker level physically, although I don't think it's impossible. It's just not really there for us to see. It's a very very safe take. I'm not mad with that. Like,
The descendant, like, that should be a double boost because he's a descendant irregular
mhm.
of a Tengray family head. It's not just he's a descendant in the tower. He's got like double the shit.
I was just gonna say, like, the interest. Oh, what's up, Vince? Did not see you coming.
It was good.
What was
You're here to be a CBL offense?
Listen, man, I don't have no reason not to believe that he could do whatever he wants at any moment. And if he can't do it, does it matter? He'll just have somebody step in. That nigga has the run-in ability. If I can't beat him, don't worry. Somebody will step in for me, and then I'll beat him in like 3 months. Don't worry.
There you go. Well, here's the only thing I'll push back on this though, because I think what you're saying makes sense. Like, your body's perhaps having to actually go up the floors and deal with higher Shinsu density. You can get stronger, but Bam already has that high level of Shinsu resistance and everything, because the steel eel place that he was in on like the first floor and stuff, and like even when Lororo tried to push everybody out with his barrier, Bam never got pushed out. Like, so don't forget that. Dude's a monster. He is still pretty strong. He is more technician, so raw strength isn't the only thing you can count into that. But his martial arts use and his agility, which he does not need Shinsu, and obviously is not pure strength like Urek Mizuno, but he is technical, very good martial artist that would be able to connect and get strength that way. And it's debatable if anyone uses no Shinsu reinforcement in the tower except for the floor of death. Okay. 25 years of hurting Nai's brain due to elite character riding LeBam days is the goat. Bam.
That's actually a take that nobody actually doesn't use. Like, that nobody doesn't use reinforcement other than in the floor of death.
It's fake, you said?
No, I'm saying it's an interesting take.
Oh.
That nobody is like.
I don't know.
That nobody does that.
For me, I've always thought of Bam very highly. It never bothered me that Bam was beginning to get seriously powerful, because I think it would actually be weirder if he didn't quickly surpass everyone else around him. Kun has no business being the same power level as Bam. It was okay at the start because Bam knew nothing about the tower, was actually behind everyone. But as the story goes on, the man's destined to slit the throat of the king, and the irregular god was the same strength as some random descendant that struggled to believe it. That being said, I've always seen Bam's true strength as his Shinsu skills and resistance that he was born with, and his weakness to be his physicality. In terms of fighting without Shinsu, he's a fantastic martial artist, no doubt, but I think he would cap at fighting a ranker in those circumstances. I think he would still do a lot of damage, but he would he would be relatively frail like a glass cannon. I'm not sure he could take much punishment without Shinsu boosting in his natural resistance. I saw Bam get stabbed in the hand and he just kept going. I'm just throw that in.
I mean, okay, I hear what they saying, but when is there going to be a moment where he's not going to be Shinsu boosting, and that's not going to be a thing?
No, that's the question that I asked. Like, how strong is he?
Would you? Oh, whatever.
Oh,
I mean, does it matter?
I'll just give you the TLDR, right? So no, it's like I get it, because me and him are in the same place. I told you, like, this is not a conversation I care to have in that sense, because I'm like, none of it matters, but it's okay. We're here. Content is content. But point is, like, I basically, like, obviously we started the Lilial and Bam shit, and we're like, what? The optics of this are weird, right?
But she's not a ranker. I guess that's my problem. But could go on. Sorry.
Well,
But
princesses have the body of a ranker, if you remember, because of the procedure.
oh, okay,
Right?
okay.
So Joe made a video about talking about why it made sense, and then I rebutted to what he was saying. And I'm saying if I take him at face value, literally with all things that he said, I understand where he's coming from. Ultimately, and I don't disagree with what he's saying, but ultimately it was like the optics and some of the logic surrounding the optics and how that looked like, just kind of like, well, with the eye, right? So I kind of combated that, and I think that he kind of agreed with what I was saying, because he kind of used a lot of season 1 and season 2 examples, and I thought it was a bad choice to say something like Quant and Hots were going at it evenly type of thing, and I'm like, no, they weren't. Because then by that logic, I have to say Baam was literally pushing Mule Love. But really what it is that people don't understand is, why would you expect a fresh E rank regular to do shit like fast skip? He was like, what the fuck? That's like if I'm playing like an 8-year-old and he hits me with a tween, whatever combo step back. I'm like, I didn't know he had that in his bag. That's just me underestimating him because he's a fucking 8-year-old. And then now I'm a rock his shit. He's not better than me because he got me that one little time. I didn't know. I was trying to be.
Also, they're constantly holding. They're constantly holding back. And they're
not
repressed.
Allowed to a lot of times. They're not allowed to.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're being repressed. They're constantly holding back, and everybody in the tower seems to be arrogant to all hell. They don't ever seem to like take anything seriously from the get go. They're just like, I'm a ranker, you're this and this, that, and the other. So that's how SIU writes it, where everybody's always looking down on everybody that's a lower rank than them. Nobody ever from the get go is just like, you know what? I'm gonna eliminate this person from the jump. It almost never happens. Mm-hmm. Even Yuri talking about beating people up with a finger, and then then he was fighting Baam, but did he actually like try to kill Baam? Like he didn't at the same time. He didn't use as much power as he could have because he didn't find it necessary. He was like, oh, I've wiped out X amount of people on this floor by barely doing anything. So why all of a sudden this guy come when I start trying to use more, and then people don't really seem to sense power in Tower of God, or at least not in the usual way. Normally, most things, you sense a person's power, you be like, this person's stronger than me, this person considerably weaker. You're not always correct, but they don't even seem to do that in Tower of God. They just look at people. They're like, ooh, does he have some type of presence? But they don't seem to actually know how strong anybody is until they actually fight them.
There you go. And then, so basically, when that, discussion and chapter came out, everyone was telling me, you need to go watch this video because it makes sense, blah, blah, blah. And then I did it. I'm like, I kind of disagree with the work here, though the big picture takeaway makes sense to me. I understand it, right? And maybe I was frustrated with other things in the chapter that made me kind of whatever. But the point was,
man, screw that.
That's why the topic is being discussed. So
okay, I got you.
You guys tell me then, and that's what we're doing now. We're going to the comments.
Man, no, screw that though. People just like the problem is not even that. Whatever, because I've seen the comments. People are just like, oh, why are y'all overreacting? That's not the problem. It's the logic and the presentation of it all. It's silly. Like, because if Baam started punching Yurik, right, and he's pushing Yurik back, I'm not going to be like, oh, he's pushing Yurik back. The problem would be is if Yurik had a surprised look on his face, and he's pushing Yurik back, and Yurik looked like he's legitimately struggling. And Bam's whole logic behind it is, no, I don't want to fight her, because if I fight her somehow, that means I'm accepting this marriage proposal. And that's like, what? How does that logic even make sense? But that's whatever. Refuse all that. Like I said, I give people making an argument, oh, gravity, force, repel versus repel, all that. Yeah, I get it. That's not the problem. The problem is just like, one, how are we supposed to take this seriously? Two, Bam's logic is complete and utter nonsense. Silly. Three, it's even sillier because Chaw had to step in the way, which made it even look even more silly. And four, why can't he just block it? He can't. He was, but not without getting pushed back. He can't just he's supposed to be a great all-time martial artist, right? Or at least been training one. So if I had another martial arts manga or anything like that, and somebody threw a punch, you don't have to block it in a way that gets you repelled back. What if he just simply stepped out of the way and grabbed her arm? Or anything like that. There's different ways to do it to not make it look so silly.
Reverse flow control. Because to me, the ultimate point that I ended up making, and the reason why I think this happened was it just looks like SIU wants an excuse to have everyone still believe that this C rank regular is C rank regular strength. It's like he's going above and beyond in a nonsensical way, so Lalal could just think he's weak, tell everyone he's weak, and then when he does something incredible, they're gonna be like, I'm a C rank regular. I can't believe it. Oh, he's the greatest I everybody didn't know. Like that's what it looked like to me. You're trying to mask how strong he is overall. And I'm tired of it. But if you're
Yeah,
gonna do that, do it in a way that makes sense. Remember when they like I don't remember exactly the scenario, but if when they slipped the Shinsu resisting ring on his finger, that did literally limit what he can do. And now he's in a situation where he might not look as impressive because he can't use Shinsu. That is a like execution.
that's a great way.
That works. That works for me. You having her come, I'll punch at him. What? You guys are defending him? He must be the worst Slayer candidate ever. I must skip away and tell the fucking family head what to do. It's just everything about that was weird, and it's just like nobody's trying to see that after he fights. Calivan beats White, fights a ranker, beats the fucking canine, whatever ranker. He's running around with all these monsters. He's running trauma ray. He hurts Holland. The pride and joy and the Lopabia family. He's up and coming, latent talent. Oh, hatchling draws blood from him with the power he just got 2 seconds ago, and he's being pushed back by this bitch. Very unserious. No one's trying to see that. That's the point.
Here's my thing, especially when it's just brute. I guess here's my problem too. It'd be one thing if she was throwing unrelenting Shinsu attacks at him and he didn't have a chance to do anything else. But this is if I'm not wrong though, make sure I'm right because I don't want to lie. She was just doing like physical stuff, right?
She every once in a while threw it up. I think 2 Shinsu blasts. I think 1 hit Cha and 1 back.
That's fine. If that pushed him back, whatever. But if she's doing physical stuff and he's supposed to be like this great martial artist, why can't he just redirect the flow of balance of her punches and stuff like that? You don't have to be stronger than somebody to do that either. If he's an all-time martial artist, that's something you literally learn in martial arts. He can literally redirect what she's doing as far as punches and kicks and stuff like that. He can do that. That still makes him look competent. It doesn't make her necessarily look weak either. And she can look at it like, why can't I hit him? Without making either one of them look bad, but it still shows a level of difference between them.
There you go.
But that's all. That's what I'm saying. The presentation of it is silly. I don't want to have these silly ass little arguments about, oh, Bam is not going to stop it. Knock it off, man. This is silly.
And there it is. Without any
Knock
Shinsu,
it off, bro.
he's fucked. I think I laughed when I saw this. I don't know. That was funny to me. Cooked food.
Because that's the thing too. Sorry, I get ranting, but like, what was the whole entire point of him learning martial arts from not only Jin Sung, Ha family specialist, super secret, fucking weapon of the Ha family, and if they can help make him go on these battlefields for 2 years, go in these martial arts schools. If he's just gonna get pushed back, I know she's a Jaha princess. Who cares? I don't care. She's not a martial arts god. What does that mean? Like, what? He's been fighting people who possibly been stronger than her. How do I know how strong this she is? He's supposed to, especially with the introduction of all these blue holes and stuff like that, he's fighting on random battle hills. We don't know who he fought. Why does she matter?
Yep. And
silly.
To this point in the comment section, I'm still surprised nobody has mentioned any contracts. I thought that was going to be a main defense that they were going to use for a lot of rankers, getting contracts and things of that nature to enhance their physical capabilities. I'm surprised no one's mentioned it at all in any capability, but all right, let's keep going. 'Cause I think one of these comments are extremely long. I think without Shinsu, he's somewhere between advanced and high rank level. In season 2, without Shinsu, it's obvious that the regular Jaha princesses in terms of physicals without Shinsu are superior to him, but things start to change in season 3 where he was able to fight rankers with no thorn at all, when in season 2, him being inferior in physical strength, the rankers were still looking down on him, but things changed in season 3 though. He was using Shinsu reinforcement, he was facing them head to head in hand-to-hand battle, which implies his growth in physical abilities, and later when he was fighting White, his physicals went from being close to rankers to above high rankers. And remember, you can always use Shinsu that your body can handle. It's heavily shown that you lose consciousness when you're using more Shinsu than the body can handle, but Baam handles way too much Shinsu, which makes the marks which marks the improvement of his body has gone through. And for further confirmation in these latest chapters, Liliel Jihad, a princess whose physics should be on par with those of a ranker when she started the climb, and now she is a C rank regular, was attacking Baam with Shinsu, meaning her physical Shinsu reinforcement, but Baam without any Shinsu was blocking her casually, and thought of even beating her, but he refused. Well, that should be more of a fundamental way you look at Baam's physical strength, which is stronger than reinforcement logic. Okay. Well said. I think this is the this is oh no, this isn't the one I thought was maybe it's not this one. I know one of them was like I swear it was like OD long. Wait, am I tripping? What's the 2 replies? Where's the other one? Anyways.
It's a ghost reply.
Yeah, they're visible. As you said, let's ignore season 2 and only discuss season 3 Baam. In one of the first chapters, Vagarov punches Baam and leaves a scratch on him, but Vagarov's hand itself is damaged as well. Then Vagarov says his Shinsu reinforcement is already stronger than my blood Tamara. So by this, we should conclude that Baam's base body is on the level of C rank regulars. Okay, I'll follow your logic for now. After that, Baam fights Godot's minion and tests Ranker Pan. But correct me if I'm wrong, he didn't take any direct hits from those rankers. In every fight, he dodged their attacks, reverse flow, piercing techniques done. If anything, these fights prove that Baam's reaction time and damage are indeed ranker levels. Then there was the fight with Godot himself, in which Baam was almost stomped by him, but at the last moment, Baam activates the Thorn and boosts his Red Thresser, with which he cuts Godot's legs. So the Red Thresser boosted by the Thorn is capable of damaging higher rankers. Godot also didn't land any direct hits on Baam. Fight with Caliban was assisted heavily by Karaka and Doan. All the damage was taken by Blue Thresser's shield. Now the most interesting part. In a fight with Arya, Baam was dodging all of her attacks like crazy, but as soon as she lands the attack, Baam pulls out the Thorn and tanks it. So base Baam plus Thorn boost equals ranker body. But isn't she a high ranker?
I will look it up.
Okay.
Let's go look it up.
I don't remember because she's a weird entity just because her body comes from the dark skinned dude or the black.
He is a high ranker.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
Yep, she's a high ranker.
Okay.
And she's also a division commander.
Yep.
That's pretty high. That's pretty
Also
high.
that-
So wouldn't her kick technically be a high ranker level kick? So wouldn't his body
So Baam-
be stronger than
So
that?
Baam plus
Could you tank that
plus
hit with a
Thorn
ranker's
boost.
body? Go ahead.
Division commander of the 4th Army.
There you go.
High rank.
Yep.
Oh, that's what was it? That's like what was it? Because and what was Alpathian in Caliban's? He was he squadron?
I think he was second in command right after him, wasn't he? It wasn't Sharon, it was him. It was Alpathian was like whatever under he was. I don't remember. Gotta look that up. Shout out to Steppenwolf.
Vice Corps commander is what it says.
Fight with White already starts with this Baam, who has ranker and high ranker damage, both thanks to the Thorn, but in his first half with White was dominating and didn't really feel any of Baam's attacks aside from Shinwan Ryu, which this man White go, ouch, that hurt. And also, despite having ranker's reaction, Baam couldn't dodge White's sword. Keep in mind that Baam can read White's sword attacks, but still couldn't react, which proves again high ranker greater than high ranker Baam with the Thorn. Then Baam burns the soul. Soul, just like the Thorn boost in every aspect body, Shinsu reaction. With this boost, Baam tanks White Sword with his body. So based on this, I might be wrong. Base Baam strongest C rank regular body plus Thorn ranker plus Soul's high ranker body.
Wait a minute.
Point of order.
Can't nobody dodge White Sword? You can't literally dodge their swords, right?
That's a law in the tower, but Baam was able to do it to some degree because of, I guess, observation hockey.
But even then, this is a Slayer candidate. So what does that prove?
Point of order on.
Sorry, he's a Slayer. White's a Slayer himself. What does that prove?
Point of order on Arya. She's the same rank as Sharon is. They're both division commanders, but Sharon was the 1st division. We don't know what division Arya is.
Okay.
So similar to somebody like Arya Bright Sharon.
Okay. Now they're proving when Bam is blocking White Sword and base. Everyone uses Shinsu verse in the story. The fact that Bam's body isn't obliterated when Bam cuts him with the sword shows his body is over C rank in regular and base. Definitely ranker level, but when uses Thorn, he operates in that fight in that high ranker field. People saying Bam is a high ranker without Shinsu are fucking delusional and we're reading the story with their asses. I said I was called out. I meant body, not the attacks. Now, no way base Bam with just Shinsu enforcement has a high ranker body level. Y'all about to hate my answer. I can't wait till I explain myself.
Wait.
Oh shit. What's poppin'?
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Wait, but I heard a little bit. This guy said he said Bam's a C rank because of the shit with Vagarov.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Tamara. Yeah.
He was
So
using
he's
that
gonna-
as
so
one of
he's
his
gonna-
examples.
So he's gonna
Well,
say,
Yeah.
so he's gonna say a man. So he's gonna say a man that's a C rank regular, that's specifically a Mad Dog, which is genetically enhanced, and then given something like the Blood Tamaran, which even fucking Androsi, who's the Jahar Princess, talks about how fucking OP that defense is, would still make him a C rank regular level, like
Yes.
base.
Yes.
Yeah, so the basis of this thing, this guy's a fucking retard. What is he talking about? I'm sick.
Miles,
Oh my
Miles,
God.
Miles,
Oh my God, chill.
I'm sorry.
Miles,
I'm sorry.
Miles,
I'm
you're
sorry.
not reading. You're not reading, bro.
I'm sorry.
I just want you to know that. I just want you to. You're not reading.
I try to be nice, but every week I'm just seeing more and more stupid people with this Tower of God in One Piece. People just gotta shut up. Oh my god.
I
really can't.
I hear you, but maintain frame. maintain frame. Miles,
Maintain
composure.
right? Cool,
Let me
calm,
calm.
collected, and composed. We are in hyper dying will mode always. Okay.
You're right. Let me go hyper. Let me be on my Suna tip. You're right.
There you go.
Look at him. He popped a lightning pill too. I felt it. I was in here ranting. Now you came in here ranting, so you took it to the next level. You added the language with it.
It was all calm. It was all calm when it was just me and Naya. The two of you came in. It's just fucking hatred.
My fault.
Listen, the hatred passes on, bro.
I apologize for that. But all right.
I'm the hate.
Daniel. Stupid people. He and the OP and TOG computer the impossible. That's the worst place to be sometimes. Bam may have a lot of different powers inside of him, but he still does not know how to release the true potential in one of them. What is Bam during the fight is that he is combining all the underdeveloped powers together to make him the level of a higher ranker down the gap between his enemies. No, just look at Urek Mazino and his regular powers alone, top 4 in position. Just irregular power alone, you see Bam with all the different types of power, and his body's still underdeveloped, and he hadn't even developed one of his powers to the highest. He just putting it together close to reaching the gap to reach top 100. Simple. Seriously, just one of his powers alone can make him a higher ranker. Just like that, what I think is that because Bam is getting so much power that quickly, making his body endure all of this pressure and not be able to catch up with Bam potential, and he hasn't made contact with his external power he gained in the tower. Without Shinsu, he taken down by a lot of high regular people that are A or lower or low ranker. I just agree with your takeaway.
Man,
I think for the most part, people at least at a ranker level, I could live with that.
people. Wait. I was just finna ask you that. I said, then you asked just ranker level. Why are we talking about high ranker level with this stuff?
Oh no, I literally asked like after like all those that conversations that we're having, I literally said, you guys tell me then. I'm dumb. All right, how strong is Bam without using like the Thorn, any of his other powers, or any Shinsu? And let them
I want to make sure I have
go
that
wherever
right.
they want to go with it. Is that C rank? Is that E rank? Is that ranker? Is that upper? Is that 10 great families level? Wherever you want to go with it. Based on
I'm just making sure.
Yeah. Naya, your answer can't follow up. We're hearing a lot of truth today. Oh no, oh, trust me. Wait till you hear my reasoning. Crazy how I don't know what's happening to you yet. Yeah, I smell the copium. There you go. All right, later, Zodiac. Thank you for stopping by while you could. All right, based on my own speculation, he's at least low ranker level. I think he can take on Quant, and win. Granted, we don't know Quant's full power, but I get the impression he isn't impressive. I think Charlie's tier, if not a little stronger, in Shinsu's base. Okay. To be honest, I personally enjoy seeing Bam fight hand to hand than Shinsu. I don't know why. I just get a thrill out of it. I feel it. Anywhere between A rank regular and ranker prior to the nest, B to top of A rank. Interesting. Did I?
That's not even. Wait, prior. This dude's not even doing current ban. He can answer the question. This dude's a fraud.
I think the first one was him answering. The second one was just adding his little prior to the nest, though. I truly don't know. My guess would be peak regular, as every time he's seen someone without Shinsu, he was either equal or totally outdone. Urek clearly outpower and shocked Bam, as well as Yuri without Shinsu. Back within Dorsey and Bam was on the train. It was stated that it was hard to keep up with there. That was a long time ago, and now we have Bam versus Lilial, where he was pushed back, and we see her actually winning the engagement. This leads to my assumption without Shinsu, he would place peak regular or tower climber, very low ranker. Bam seemed to have this narrative going with that in the tower. He like a natural predator that made to be unfair within this environment. But how really dangerous is a shark out of water is my point. SIU has portrayed Bam without Shinsu to be more compared to above average climbers in the series. So I guess my thought is that the avenue he's going with Bam, that the people who will ever challenge Bam will be a select few who are able to negate Shinsu or special like a regular and ancient. I guess, though, that is he is going to actually double down with this idea or is going to the waste side. I personally think it would be cool if he uses it right. My bad, though, wrote in a rush, clearly.
What the fuck? I just gotta say, what the fuck
Wait.
regular tower climber?
A rank?
Yeah,
I think he's saying like peak of A rank.
Yeah.
I guess my thing is so he truly believes if Shibisu and Bam fought, no shit, it's a toss up.
I guess.
See,
you underestimated the killer arts, the deadly arts. He didn't know he was nice with it. You didn't know that.
My problem is exactly what he just said though. He said, what's her face? The princess pushing him back means that Bam is peak of regular without Shinsu. See, that's my whole entire thing. He didn't fight. That's the problem. That's the problem with the logic. He didn't fight her back. He pushed him back, but for what? He didn't try. And I know that was some people's point were just like that, and that's my problem with how it's presented. He doesn't have to just block her attack. He is supposed to be a grade A martial artist. What was the point of all that martial arts training? Redirect her attacks.
Nah, bro.
You don't have to hit her. Like nobody said.
What's wrong with you?
Man, Bam, act like I told him he had to hit her with the clothesline from hell.
I mean, does martial arts really matter, bro?
Apparently not. I mean, I guess he went through those two training battlefields for nothing.
It was so you can see him and Karaka use that move, bro. That's all it was.
Yeah, Vacant Hell was like you rely too much on the orb and shit like that. So go train, go on them battmebattlefields, fight people, learn get your martial arts up.
Battlefield was only to wake Yama up.
I mean the way you hear about martial arts, you would expect Hajin Sung to wax Caliban, but I mean, you know,
He's a technician, bro. You can't expect that shit.
Right, he learned from two of the best people in the tower martial arts skills. The special Hajin Sung, who's special even among the and the Vacant Hell.
And Ha
and guess that Yeah, that mean nothing, man.
Attacker because Shamray and then being a ship though, right? He said I could look at it in a second, but I'm pretty sure he also was like, if I do it,
But
I'll have to marry her or some nonsense. That didn't make any sense. But you have to.
but even though
You have to
that was the case.
real quick.
Oh, sorry.
I haven't revisited these like since I finished Tower of God like 7 weeks ago. I have not reread any chapters, so
Facts.
I am going based off what like us literally reading and reacting to this on Twitch like months ago, weeks ago. So go ahead.
Honestly, I'm not even mad at these people, to be honest. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at these commenters. I'm really not. I'm mad at SIU because he did this. It's his fault.
See, Vince is on
I'm
the
not
right
mad.
track. See, Vince on the right track. He's going where I'm going. I'm about to reveal all soon. Well, go ahead, Miles.
No, I was gonna say even if that was the case, then shouldn't we apply the same thing to the law? As in, like, she shouldn't be attacking because Traumar was there and Traumar brought her in as a special guest. Like,
No, she was.
I don't know. Like,
No, whatever. She does what she wants.
Bro, she's a woman. Let's move.
While I think his physical strength and stamina are below average, that might not be the case anymore since it's implied having souls inside you gives you a massive stat bump to those things that can't necessarily be turned off like Shinsu enhancement can. Also, Naya, off top. Actually, I think I want to answer this last. I think I remember the question. I think base Bam's body is as strong as a direct descendant top regular of Ha family. All right. I'm going to be that guy. It's impossible to say. That's a total that wasn't you could have said that. That was perfectly viable. I don't know is almost an answer. Because we have no idea how much Shinsu he is using in each situation to boost his body. For all we know, he used Shinsu to boost his body to defend against the law. That's a great point. We don't actually know that for a fact.
yes.
Speaking of, logically, Bam absolutely should have used Shinsu to boost his body to block Law's attack. Why? As a reflex. During Bam's training with the Vankel, he knew he is training to fight against rankers, so it makes perfect sense to train using Shinsu body boost as a reflex, and that makes very little sense for him not to do. He doesn't want to be hit by a full-on ranker punch because he didn't react fast enough. Edit, going through the comments, I see a lot of people decided to be that guy. You have a great audience here, Naya. So the question here, I think, was something about I have to find something. So this is kind of like was going to lead into what I want to say. Also, Naya, off topic. Do you think rankers in the story can scale down their strength so much they can play with regulars without harming them, like Quant did in Season 1, Mulov and Nurek in Season 2, or just an inconsistency from SIU? What do you guys think about this question? Want me to repeat it?
Fuck.
I mean, I would.
I mean, no.
Like, can he suppress
I mean,
his
I would
power
say
level to
yes.
1 type B?
I legitimately
I would
can't answer
assume
this
so.
because I don't know I don't understand how power works in the tower. I don't understand what they're doing.
Like, the only example I can think of is Urek, and even when he was 1%, he was, like, beating the brakes off of Karaka and Weakened White at the same time with one finger. So, fucking no. How strong is Quant in comparison to other rankers?
Probably like average.
Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't know. For all I know, what if he's an upper ranker now?
what if he's just shitty and he's really close to what regulars are, and that's why it was so similarly close to him and Dorsey? I couldn't fucking tell you. Like, there's no way to say.
Well, I think part of the problem is I've only seen Bam fight a lot of these people. I don't know what else happened. So, like, even the Mule Love thing, was Mule Love holding back? We say yes, right?
How much?
Yes. How much? How much would anybody else do? The problem is all the example of people fighting people outside of their rank class for the most part be Bam, because everybody else who fights outside their rank class, they get clapped pretty quickly. That's the only one who's allowed to stick around and have other people jump in and do all stuff like that. So I don't know.
Like, how are we supposed to tell the difference between a 2% fastball from Mule Love and a 70% fastball from Mule Love? I don't fucking know.
No clue.
I'd need, like, Togashi info boxes on the side of every panel when these cunts are fighting to tell.
And now we get to the moment of truth, right? Because I'll look any Tower of God fan in the soul and tell them Bam is one of the physically strongest, most capable people in the tower right now. No Shinsu needed. And you know what my evidence is? Not a goddamn thing. I don't need it. I know if the situation arises, he will find his way out of it. He will win. It's that simple. I actually have no piece of text, panel, fucking interview, blog post. I know at this point what it is based off what keeps going on in this story. Because there's been a plethora of times where I'm like, he's fighting somebody he's completely outclassed and he shouldn't be able to fight with. And the circumstances find a way to make him win. If he got no Shinsu and has beat Caliban hand to hand, he will fucking win. I am absolutely confident. Because this nigga does not have any consistency. You know how many I don't knows, maybe, coulda, sorta, it's headcanon, there's not enough? That's the problem. We don't fucking know. I have 100% faith in what I'm saying based off nothing. Because he's unserious. I literally don't need to see him, I will take this without Shinsu boost. I don't need that. I know. I know if he needs to punch a hole through Caliban like Goku did Broly, he'll fucking do it when he needs to. Mic drop.
Yep. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, that's why I'm not mad at them for saying all this stuff. They doing exact revert. We used to be them. Every week we used to sit on the Chicken Love Club podcast and be like, oh, no way Bam's gonna keep up with this person. Just like that. And you know what SIU would do? Throw somebody to save them, have them use a thorn, get another power up in the middle of the fight, get a power up after the fight, get a power up before the fight, get the power up when somebody talking to him, get a power up when somebody looks to his left, get a power up when somebody looks to his right. It doesn't matter. He can do whatever he wants. It doesn't matter. Why? What's the point of this? What's the point of these discussions other than y'all just want to have them because y'all love power scaling? But what's the power scaling when nobody knows? Nobody knows what's power scaling in this series. You think you do. You don't. Nobody knows.
Yeah, not even me. I'm not even SIU. I'm just about to say.
There's nothing to power scale in this series because none of you know anything.
We just do it for fun at this point.
Exactly. We just seen Kun and Rat get a power up. How strong are they? We don't know. Who knows? They could be high-ranker level the next time we see them. Who knows? Stop. This is pointless. It's pointless. All we're talking about when we made that podcast was the presentation. It was silly. We just seen Bam fight Caliban and all these other people. Why is he being pushed back by this princess? Why was his logic, oh, I don't want to fight her because this means I'm agreeing to the marriage? Why? Who thinks like that? If somebody is attacking me and coming for my life, I don't really know. Her dad might think I want to marry her if I fight back. What? Silly. It doesn't make any sense. We're not arguing. Oh, why are y'all so upset? Y'all are so upset because she was pushing Bam back. No, don't be silly. Damn, some of y'all need to learn how to read a moment. Y'all be watching. How long y'all been watching this channel? Y'all still don't know when we're hyperbole and shit. Jesus Christ, get a grip. Y'all are so dumb sometimes.
This was all to prove a point. That's the only reason why I did this. That the power scaling in this series is in the gutter. It doesn't matter. None of it does. Stop worrying about it.
My thing is,
now I'm gonna keep complaining because it puts money in my pocket. But my point, end of the day, I'm literally not referencing a goddamn thing, moment. Forget all of that. I just know how it works with Bam, and I've accepted it. I am the realist of the CBLs. It is me. I believe. A lot of you are non-believers. I see it in your.
I don't care. I don't care about fights in this series anymore.
How many times have someone's like, "What do you think who would win?" And we'll have the conversation. We'll make the Shinsu clash or whatever. But at the end of the day, do we really know? We're like, all we can do is kind of look at it after the fact and try to make sense of it. We've been saying that for how long now? At least 2 years. So
Man, I don't care about fights in this series anymore. I don't.
I want to see
I
like
don't care
Kennedy
about
do
fight.
something cool once and a couple other things, and I'm moving on.
I was
Yeah.
gonna. I think my thing too is I actually have no issues with most of the people's thoughts, right? Because at least most people gave their reasoning to it, which means they thought about it. It is what it is. I have no issues with that.
Hmm.
Like, good on you. I get more annoyed with like examples of that one guy where people talk with so much arrogance and bravado and calls other people dumb
Surety
or
of them.
can't read. When it's like your evidence is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. What are you talking about? It's people like that that piss me off. I hate loud and wrong people. Oh my
I hear
gosh.
you. I get a personal kick out of it, but I hear you, cause literally like just to quote Vince, I just be like, who told you that? Why do you, like you have this belief for some reason, but I don't know why. But I'm just gonna go with it. So it is what it is. Only real CBLs know that SLU saved Traumray from Bam. Boom. I'm a lore merchant that gives you fucks about fights right now. I feel it. Yell anything. Glam thrive too much negativity. My power is rising. Dark side out here.
I was literally throughout that whole rant, literally eating popcorn as Vince was going on.
Sending an Armstrong source for the win. My source says go fuck yourself. But like,
Man,
like,
listen.
No. My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
literally
It's just like, do you guys? But like in all seriousness, for a second, you guys understand where do you get where I'm coming from? Like,
Yes.
I would
Yeah.
argue
Yes.
that even some of the comments who had an answer, like I believe he's this, still admit inconsistent. We're not sure. There's a lot more info we need to have to make this, but I believe this. You guys in yourself have proven it. And I'm telling you that I'm on the extreme end of him thinking he's great physically. Fair enough. But my evidence is nothing. Because what the fuck matters in this series? When y'all came to me that one day talking about he's not that good at hand to hand and he needs more experience and blah blah blah. The reason why I made the video because I'm like, when has that ever mattered? You're speaking about things that literally do not matter, especially not anymore. Maybe at some point. I think somebody said, I don't give a fuck about trying to figure this out because he keeps throwing away established rules he already created. Inconsistent. Therefore, I'm telling you, he's top 100 physically, one of the strongest people in the tower, and my evidence is not a goddamn thing. The source is from the crease of my ass. Anyways, how y'all boys doing, man?
I'm vibing.
I'm good.
It's just a pun.
I,
Bro.
I just hope media literacy can increase in the next few years.
There's no
That's all.
need. There's no need for media literacy anymore. This series does not matter as far as
I'm
what.
talking about
Just,
in general.
I'm gonna say, yeah, that's true. But just read the pretty pictures on the page. None of
I
this
know you
matters.
do, because Vince, I know you be getting at it with people on Twitter, so I know you know.
Miles, it doesn't matter when the author can just unga bunga their way to millions of dollars with most people, man.
Didn't he surpass like 1 billion views, and that's just in North America or something, or like English speaking countries at least for like
Is it?
I think I saw that. I know I saw that with an ordinary before, but I think I saw a tower guy has 1 billion overall reads or views on Webtoon and stuff. Like, I think there comes a point sometimes the popularity is so much and they have so much die-hard standship in there, they can kind of just do whatever they want and kind of like coast a little bit. Because I'd argue in a lot of ways Oda is, I actually think the problem with Oda and two things: he just wants to end the series, and two, I think he's surrounded by yes men. I don't think anyone goes Oda. No, this is like and throw the book back at him, because that's the kind of editor I would be. Glam shows me that some mid, and I'm flinging the keyboard, the clipboard at him, not gently, mid fling, frisbee throw.
And it's reversed.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That meme is always killing me. Of the fucking the one with Kaido, and like he little,
He's a small
little, medium, big.
rated 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10, and suck my dick like always.
I'm not gonna lie. That shit got a lot of truth. That shit's so funny.
I guess
so good.
I guess I don't. I feel like I don't know enough about the way in which like the webtoon like authorship money and like all advertising like all that works for like webtoon artists. Because I so SIU is one of the is he the biggest webtoon writer?
No,
No, no,
no, not
no,
even
no, no,
close.
no. He's not.
Not even close,
I
bro.
think in Korea at one point he was number one. I don't know if that's the case anymore, but I know at one point it was definitely Noblesse. I know Noblesse at one point because I remember my friend telling me K dramas even reference Noblesse. I don't watch K dramas like that, but I don't know anymore because I think I saw even as far as like fantasy type of whatever. I think Unordinary was over it, wasn't it? Last time I checked.
Yeah, yeah. The numbers don't lie. I used to laugh. I used to laugh at that.
About another series full of yes.
But I was just, I was just talking about the webtoon app. If we're talking about just Korea, then I have no clue.
Okay.
But on
If
the
you're-
webtoon app, he's not the biggest.
I'll say that the brain deadness of most fandoms is literally everywhere. MCU, Star Wars, Blizzard fans. It is all over the goddamn place. Like it
Very
is
true.
a whole problem.
I mention this often, but by the way, you can see here where it says 1B, that's 1 billion views. So he did hit 1 billion. And
I don't know why. I
always
always just
high.
feel like they're struggling. I don't know why.
I don't. I obviously want to check popular.
Oh, well,
I think it's a way to
I'm gonna look at the webtoon. I'm gonna look at the webtoon app right now.
Yeah. So new. Well, this is new and trending. So maybe because.
Okay, he's starting to heat up though. I'll give him that. Oh yeah, Unordinary got more though. Unordinary got 52.8 million likes. Tower God has 51.8 million.
Yeah. A mission.
Mhm.
I went again. Oh, I went again.
And a couple of things. Well, that's. I wonder if it's under fantasy. What Tower God under fantasy? Tower God is
Pretty
4.
fantasy.
Yeah. It's
So
under fantasy.
it's Morgana and Oz. The First Night with the Duke. Like Wind on a Dry Branch, and Tower God is 4th here. Overall,
They love their romance
overall,
over there.
it's not top 10.
They love their romance on that app.
They do.
Is it Supernatural? Is it under this tag too? I wonder. I think it's under fantasy for the most part. I think it's not slice of life or thriller. No.
Love their romance on that site, boy.
Backer 1112 or 112. I literally have a video of Asmongold raging about this exact topic that we're talking about. And if anybody plays WoW, you'll know who that is. Where he talks about if anybody that talks critically amongst these super fandoms, they don't do it because then they'll realize they've wasted large portions of their lives standing something that's shit. That is all over the goddamn place.
Yeah.
Sorry. So it reminds me of the point that I make about something happened over the course. I'm gonna say personally 6 years. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about this and just didn't engage too deeply in too many fan bases and whatnot. But I think the way that people look and consume media in some way, shape, or form is altered over time. I'm not exactly sure how to describe what it is that I see, but it comes across to me a lot of the times that we care about this movie or this show because of this one viral scene. This really good scene here justifies the 8 episodes of why you should kind of watch here, or like, I want to make a bunch of fan art. Oh, I want to be like, oh, Anya's so cute, must protect. Like, I don't really think people care. Like, they might pretend they care, but I don't think other people actually care about how high quality something is from top to bottom, from start to finish. It's just like, oh, this character is good looking. This character is non-binary. This like the things that like seem to matter. It's not really storytelling, writing, or like cinematography or whatever. It just seems to just be like
It's whether they're having fun or not.
Arbitrary things like, can I draw a big booba woman? I don't know. It's something changed. I can't explain it. Because some people like they pretend that they care about writing, but I can just tell about what you like and how you're going about it that you don't actually care. It's very simple for me. It's easy for me to tell because I actually do give a fuck. So,
see, I guess here's my problem with when it comes to writing and stuff, because I always talk about this topic on Twitter a lot.
That's why I hate all the new shit, by the way.
Because a lot of my thing is that I feel like you can notice the problems in the series, and I'm not saying that like how do I phrase this? I'm trying to. You can notice problems in a series, or you can acknowledge that there's issues and still love it anyway. At the end of the day, if you still want to give something a 10 out of 10 or whatever, some people don't like to use numbers, but if you still want to give it a great rating anyway, but for you to say that you care about writing and then just be like, this you can't say like, this was a strange decision. I don't understand how this makes sense. This not adding up, whatever. Or you can't understand people saying that. I have a problem. I have a problem with people who think they could just do that, and then, or people that say they care about writing, but then you ask them to explain their position on this, and they'd be like, I just don't like it because I don't like it, or I like it because I like it. Okay, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that answer, but don't tell me you care about writing in that way. Just don't do that to me. If you're gonna say that, just be acknowledged, or just be like, or at least if I'm reading something mid, I'm like, listen, bro, this whole entire thing is mid to me, but I like some aspects of it here and there. But I honestly don't think it's that
a
great.
recent example of just the revisionist history we did with Reborn. Simi had a whole section of very serious problems that he had with Reborn. And he'll tell you, this shit was an integral part of me growing up. I absolutely adore this manga from start to finish. Or whatever.
Yep, and he still has the top 10.
Exactly. It's like I think I'm one of the people with like I think I've learned to balance it all because I'm highly critical. I know that it's not, I actually blame my grade 11 teacher. But I never told this story. My media studies teacher. Ever since the rhetorical fallacy arc or what do you call it in school again? Not arc. Subject unit. I was not the same. I'm not the same. Like the way I looked at commercials and analyzed and looked at certain things, I could almost never turn it off for a really long time. She like ruined a lot of things for me because I used to be like ad hominem. I couldn't stop doing it. And then as I got older, I learned to like, okay, you know what? I am very critical. I care about my things. I care about logic and things lining up. But there's a time where I'm cool with just, I like this. It's really nonsensical. It's mid that hits, like I used to always say. But I'm having a good time. It's a good time. But let me not hide that. I'm not going to pretend I believe that this thing is high quality because micro development and make up some bullshit. I'ma just tell you he kicks niggas, he smoke his cigarette, he look cool, and that's enough for me.
I wonder who Naya is talking.
You could hate, you could not like what I have to say, but I'm being transparent. I just think he looks cool and he be kicking folk raw. You don't have to lie to me. I don't like being lied to unnecessarily.
Yeah, I think it's because people feel the need to just be right too much, which is the issue. Like it's like there is no right answer to this, and everybody's always trying to like find this right answer to like how this should be or how. So they just come up with things that they don't really care about or think about, and it just comes off as like disingenuous or just stupid.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Nah, I'm right.
Glam is never right, by the way.
There's times where I'm right. There's times where I'm wrong. But I think the difference between me and other people, I'm not afraid to be wrong. And if I'm wrong, like listen, on everything I love. If SIU come back and they throw a fucking ring on his finger, he can't use Shinsu, he gets packed up by some regulars, I'll be the first one to apologize to everybody here. That video will come out frame one. Cause I'm not right with everything. I'll be wrong sometimes. What happens every time Hawkins gets packed up? I come on here and I take my lumpings like a man. I'm used to this shit. I talk shit. You live and you die with a shit talk. I'm okay with it. That's like I used to talk so much shit about every team. Derrick Rose got hurt in 2011 and they didn't leave me alone for months. It's okay, because I was a tyrant with it. I understand that if I can dish it out, I have to learn how to take it. My problem with a lot of you is you can't take what you try to dish out. Like, you'll come and be really condescending to me, and I'll just laugh it off because whatever, you're an anonymous person on the internet. But if I come and tell you this is stupid, you're going to, malfunction, you can't say that to me, I'm protected. No, you're not. Talk shit gets talk to you.
I also hear when you have criticism when people are like, just leave, you won't be missed. And it's like, who are you? No, you're here and no one knows who you are.
Yep.
God, I hate. Oh man, people make me ill.
It's something like even more so like because I did some psychology things. I understand that that's more about them and not me. I kind of feel bad sometimes, where it's like, you got nothing better to do, huh? Like, you're lurking in the comment section of a Tower God creator you don't like, who's not as big as some other ones. You don't have to be here. You don't have to listen to what I'm saying. You're just here because I don't know. You're here for something. And like I know that like I know like entire Reddits and stuff dedicated to just trying to destroy people and take them down. I'm like, imagine having so little to do with your life. That there's a content creator you don't like or something, and you're like, how do I get him deplatformed, or she or her deplatformed? Grass outside, trees to touch, sunlight to let hit your skin, get some
Baskin.
vitamin D. You know, like you could talk to some hoes, you could talk to some niggas, do something. Like what's
Why they gotta be hoes, not?
why?
No.
Huh? Because
He said you can talk to some N words right after. I don't know what you're doing.
because we're going outside to the streets. But anyway, that's in a nutshell what I had to say about all that. So I don't know, but media is consumed differently than it used to be back then. Because back then, all the conversations I had about like manga and anime stuff were all very like high level like artistry and writing things that we cared about, and now like a bunch of other things. And that's it. So
Dane.
Like, yeah, it's
no.
just like people. It's one of those weird things where it's kind of like relax. Like people like should take a deep breath. Shit can be enjoyable. Don't get too personal when people think things. Like it's not that deep. Like you'll be all right. Like one of my favorite movies of all time is Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer. Is it a crazy movie? Yes, but I enjoy it, so I don't care. Like,
All I ask is that
something
if
don't have
you
to be
know,
that deep.
all I ask is that if you just know you're trying to enjoy something, don't lie to me and act like it should be critically acclaimed. Because that's where I get fucking pissed off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Where people bury their head in the sand and just say this thing is goated objectively in every sense of the word because they like it.
right.
That's it. That was kind of fun though. I saw so many comments with their entire chest with so much vitriol. Just obviously it's this.
B-rank
and I'm just like in my head I'm just like, I don't know who told you that, but we're gonna have fun with this. We're gonna have a good time with this. I don't know who told you that, but we're gonna make it work. So it is what it is. Oh, someone got banned.
I think it was a bot.
I knew
Big
we
bot.
just finished when people turned around on the fourth Ninja War and now they gas it. Oof. I did see some tweets saying, "Watch how Wano will be looked at in 2 years." They gonna say, "That's like." I could see
They're gonna lie.
The revisionist history
They're
will
gonna come
happen.
back and lie about Wano, just like people came back and lied about Whole Cake. They're gonna do the same thing with Wano.
I low-key don't want. I don't want to have a Wano discussion for the rest of my life. I'm gonna be honest.
Unfortunately, I gotta do one. There's one big one I gotta do, and then we're good. I have to do the ranking the One Piece series, and Wano will be in it.
Oh, true.
But
True.
after that, I think I'm with you. Because even, I think recently
and
I was
Drift's
forced
video.
to talk about the Katakuri and Luffy thing. Oh, it's got the Drift's video, yeah. And I like did, I like promised myself never again. But I had to for that because I'm like, I can't just sit through this 30-minute section and not say anything. So I interjected. But that fight too, I'm like, I don't care if you believe Oda's dick is the winner. Like, I don't care what you believe at this point. I just don't want to talk about it no more. I'm done talk, okay? Because trying to talk about that fight gives me a headache.
Absolutely AIDS fight. I'm not even gonna speak on if it was shit or good. That fight is fucking AIDS.
End of the day, it's not one of my favorite Luffy fights, so I'll leave it at that. It's not Rob Lucci, it's not Crocodile, it's not the other ones that I like a little more, so it is what it is. I think before I would have told you it was my third favorite Luffy fight. I don't think so anymore, though. So it is what it is. That's what happened to Whole Cake. It's media at the end of the day. You're right. And maybe some new people. I think sometimes, I wonder if sometimes it's new blood that bolsters the positivity. Because I think sometimes with something that long, if you're just kind of going through it, you don't get the time to really digest it to the same degree. So
when first come into something, man, it's over. And so they say, "Oh, it's gas, pure fucking goated, love it, man." They don't pay attention to what's happening.
And I do think a lot of people read and watch stuff and comment in the fashion that they do solely for positive online affirmation. Like, look at this guy, intellectual, enjoying Skypea like this. Oh, what a goat. You know, like he don't like people be posturizing for Twitter a lot. Or like people I know, I'm like, I ain't never ever seen you type like this in my life. I won't let it rock though. I have a hands-off policy. Unless I gotta come for you, you come for me. But
people build whole Twitter accounts based off that, where they just constantly everything they read, nothing's ever bad. They just constantly find a new way to say how it's good and cool, and it's one of the best things they ever read. Everything they read is, whatever. Then they don't, and then they don't apply ratings for a reason.
Is it
gotta be scared of the ratings?
Is it weird that I hate an overly positive motherfucker more than a overly negative one? I hate a motherfucker.
I do it all the time.
Crazy. It's a little crazy.
Everything is good. Everything is
No,
great.
I do it all the time.
Naya, I am 100% with you, my boy. I'm the exact same way.
I hate. Where's your hatred at? I don't.
You negative Nancy's. Oh my god.
Where is the dark side energy in your soul? You love everything. You bitch.
Hold on. What, Miles, tell me one good person you met that's been completely positive. It doesn't happen. Those people are not good.
Wait,
they're not real.
I agree. I don't trust people who only smile, but I'm just saying, like, if someone's like super positive about a specific thing, I think that's okay. Now, if you're telling me he's positive about every single thing ever, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about. Every story you read is the peak of fiction.
I cannot trust somebody that doesn't have a gripe with anything that they consume. I can't trust them. Because then I just think you have zero standards. And you're just here for whatever.
Is there anything wrong with that? No.
To me,
if someone's just like, I'm just here just to rock out.
Miles, I'll tell you right now why I think there's something wrong. Because being stupid should not be viewed as a good thing. All right?
Okay, but wait, can someone be critical?
I practice, what was that video? Whatever, positivity, that being dumb is a good thing. And it should be normalized, okay?
Wait. Can someone be critical but overwhelmingly positive still? IGN
finds a way to do that.
I don't feel like you can be overwhelmingly positive
out of 12 and give it an 8 out of 10. So
like if someone, because wouldn't that be more like the way you say it, like, oh, I don't think he could did this. I think he could have done this, but like, I'd probably get what, like, kind of always trying to find the positive.
Here. Okay, I'll give you an example. This is how I frame stuff. I might read something, and I might be like, you know what, this was an issue. This was an issue. The ending was a little meh, but for me, these things do not take away from the great things it's done well. And those things emotionally aligned with me. So I give this score because that matters more to me. It touched me on an emotional level. And that matters when you're reading something. Not everything about reading is complete logic. Sometimes if an author does the thing they set out to do really well and it touches you on an emotional level and you can empathize and connect to it, that matters more than some of the writing issues you have. But my thing is, I always say, just be able to explain that. If I'm asking you, especially if you have one of those viral tweet type things, that's always my thing. I'm not just going around picking on every little nigga who got an opinion about something they read. I really enjoyed this read. Explain it. You can't explain it.
I don't know, man. The way you be on Twitter, bro.
I don't do that to regular people.
Reading down people's necks.
When
they be lying. That's different.
What I'm talking about specifically is when you say this thing is shit, and you prove unequivocally that this thing is shit, and then somebody says, "Well, it's not that big a deal. It didn't affect me really at all." It's like, what? What are you talking about?
I don't even have that. I don't even have that issue with people. See, Glad has something different. I do the things where I do this for both sides. I do it for people who are positive and negative. Because sometimes with the people who are positive, I just find a way to interconnect everything. That's be my problem with them. They'd be like, this actually means this is actually about, the Buddhist temple, and that was in chapter 1, and then you see how the Buddhist temple was right there to the left, you put it to the right, you'd be like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? You're just making shit up. But then the people who are overly negative, they be like, some of them just be lying too.
Is that positive or just sucking off the author?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't think you connect it to.
Isn't that different? I feel like that's different.
It's the connectivity and we don't fuck with them. Get them out.
They be using buzzwords and just trying to connect things together to sound like these things were meant to happen and meant to be and all of this made sense. It don't. It's okay to say that this was very strange. Like I do it all the time. I'm not always just full on blast. This is garbage. This is trash. Sometimes I'm just like, this don't make sense to me. Then, like when I did
Or
Naruto
I'll
read
say it's
and
a
Bleach
weird
read,
decision. I don't know what to do with this.
yeah, right. I read Naruto and Bleach, and I fucking sat there and I read the whole thing, entire things on the TL. Tweeted damn near like every panel of those goddamn mangas.
Peak fiction.
Have people come, give me explanation from light novels and all sorts of stuff. And sometimes I said, okay, you know what, fair. But then other times I said, nah, that ain't working for me, cousin. I got it. Thanks for the explanation, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying what you're selling.
What's the new? There's a new phrase I keep hearing. Oh, you believe that? I have a bridge to sell you. I like that. I like that.
Because sometimes they give me things and I'm just like, see, that all sounds good, but another thing for me is I don't like things that retroactively try to make things make sense. Sometimes it works, but often a lot of the times I don't like that.
As in like they came up with it second, not like initially. You mean?
Yeah. For the most part, I don't like that because that almost feels lazy to me. You could just rewrite the whole entire book if you want to do that. So for the most time, I don't really like that. It comes off kind of lazy to me. That don't mean it's not improper. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it can be done well.
I do remember that,
just for the
that
most part,
Evangelion story. I don't remember if it was a cross. It had something to do with the name or something. And they're like, and people were going in like, oh, it means this and something in the Bible and Christ. And they asked him like, oh no, I thought this shit was cool.
The references to other things merchants have to be stopped because they just be making it up at the slightest sign.
Honestly though, sometimes I think authors do that on purpose because they know that shit's gonna happen. At least I would. That's smart. Sometimes I can't blame the author for that. But like, what does not always be saying? You're doing the work for them. Don't do that.
I'd actually argue, Glam. I actually think a lot of them do that on purpose because, like I said, I think a lot of things some of these authors know with the paradigm shift and how things are being perceived and viewed. They do those little tiny tricks because it fools the mass majority. They don't need to trick us. They need to just trick the majority of casuals because they're the ones who aren't paying attention to that degree. And I argue the latest Toei animation is one of those things. That shit's not fire. Luffy averaging 4 flashbacks per punch and holding everything, gotta push through with all this shit in the air and background and flashing and overlaying the visual noise. That's tricking somebody who's never studied animation in any capacity. They're we're
small cog in the we're small cog in the wheel. We don't really matter though. Exactly. We're not making that.
Naya said.
Go ahead.
That's funny. I was gonna say you said averages like it's like Luffy's in-game stats. 10 flashbacks.
Yeah, I swear to God.
Miles, like an episode of One Piece at this point is damn near like a Naruto episode where you're seeing the swing again for the 37th time. Like,
you already know I gotta show love to the Patreon gang. Yes, sir. Shout out to the certified BAM lovers, my CBLs. Big love to the Priest of Fire. I greatly appreciate you guys' support, but especially shout out to my 5th Zen God. Shout out to Simi, Scobe, Revenant, Miles, Lucky Roo, Lazy Dragon, Chris, Johnny Rogers, Irene Sharda, Triss, David Langstaff, Childish Nujabes, Alan, AJ, Abdel, and 5:28 a.m. Your support is greatly appreciated, and thank you.